Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. The new film CODA walked away from the Sundance Film Festival, leaving an imprint on its audience, and picked up 4 big awards, including the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award. It will be in select theaters and streaming on Apple TV Plus August 13th, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. At the center of the film is Ruby Rossi, played by Emilia Jones. Now get to know her name as you'll be blown away by her performance. Ruby is a high school student who has spent her whole life being the sole ASL interpreter for her family. Her parents, played by Marlee Matlin and Troy Kotsur, and her brother Leo, played by Daniel Durant, are all deaf while Ruby is hearing. She's referred to as a CODA, a child of deaf adults. Her father and brother work as fishermen in their home of Gloucester, Massachusetts, but the income is minimal until they decide to branch out and form their own family business. Ruby's coming into her own identity, carving out plans to attend Berklee College of Music while feeling that pressure to stay behind as her family relies on her. CODA is written and directed by Sian Heder and is based on the French film La Famille Brûlée. Now at first, CODA may seem like a simple little story about a high school girl coming to her own. She finds her voice and talents through music while struggling with the pressures at home. It's a lesson in communication and the many forms it takes on. She's been forced to be the communicator for her family her entire life, putting her own needs and desires aside. Now, as she's finding her own way, the timing couldn't be worse as her family needs her now more than ever before. Writer-director Sian Heder examines how Ruby uses music, American Sign Language, and the spoken word to use her voice. Hader's written an eye-opening piece with how challenging it must be for the Rossi family to feel like a part of their community and to be taken seriously as fishermen when they can't hear or effectively communicate with everyone else. We see how they're teased and not given the same opportunities. Now, if Ruby isn't right there speaking up for them, it takes an emotional and a physical toll on the family unit. There's a really beautiful scene between Marlee Matlin and Amelia Jones as Matlin's character, Jackie, opens up about her worries being a deaf mom and whether she can communicate and connect to her hearing daughter. Heder has written in plenty of humor along the way, whether it's Ruby's exuberant music teacher played with gusto by Eugenio Derbez, or the relationship between her parents, Frank and Jackie. You know, they're not afraid to be romantic or inappropriate around Ruby or her friends, which then leads to some pretty awkward encounters. Emilia Jones may be familiar to Netflix audiences for her turn in Lock and Key, and she's a massive star on the rise who brings so much emotional weight for the conflicted Ruby. Plus, she has a beautiful singing voice that can easily open her up to some musical projects. As Ruby's brother Leo, Daniel Durant brings another strong presence to the film, and I'm really eager to see what's next for him. Sian Heder has a special film on her hands that will hopefully inspire and move audiences like it did to me. I'm giving CODA 5 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got to interview Emilia Jones, Daniel Durant, and Troy Kotsur, so you'll definitely want to check out those interviews, and we do use American Sign Language interpreters, so you'll definitely want to check them out. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptomovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of CODA. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.